Hello, welcome back. In this tutorial we will going to pass in data from here to another activity. So in the last few tutorial we made up in this point, and now our application is load the image from the Unsplash website and load the name. And if you notice, I'm using a smaller device, so make sure you design for every kind of devices. Okay, so in another tutorial I will show you how you can make the same layout for a small device and large device and a tablet as well. So this way your applications will be looking nice in every situations, or any device it will run the application. Okay, so right now when we click something, we see the name of the that adapter or that cell. Okay, so for example this one, we can see that means we able to get all the three data that we have inside each one of them. So right now we have to make up the new or create a new activity. Then whenever we click one of these, pass the data to a new activity, and in the new activity we should get whatever we pass from here to another one. How we can do that? Let's do it. Okay, so we come to our app and we go to the activity, and we will make a new activity. So how you do it: right click, go to the new, then come down to the activity and just choose the empty activity. When you choose the empty activity, all you have to do, change the name of this. We will name it detail activity. What's wrong? Come on. Okay, detail activity. Finish. You have to just let it to load. Then when it's loaded, we will start with the design for this new activity, because every activity you will make, it will give you a XML file for the same activity. Then you can design whatever you want to pass into that activity. So we will go to the resources, we go to the layout, and here inside the layout we have a activity detail which we just create. Okay, so let's go to the design. Let's close up these two parts so our design it will be large enough to see. Now we just threw up an image inside here, and we choose the image that we uploaded and use it for another one, like that. Let's resize this so we can append it to the top, right and left, like that, to the top, then to the right and left, like this. Nice. Then what we will do, we will change this type of constraint to be a match constraint. Then we don't need any margin in the right and the left and the top. Okay, now we need our image to be 150 dp, like this. Then we will change the scale type to be center crop. Then we can see our image clearly. Nice. Now we need a text, and just bring the text and put it inside here, and I will clearly take it to the right and left and the bottom of this image that we have. Okay, and I will give the margin of 24. Also we will choose our font that we are using all the time. Give a size of 24, for example, and we will change the color to be white, like this. Actually, let's put it in the center. This way it will be much better. Okay, nice. And lastly, we will change the this constraint to be the match constraint. Then all we have to do, center this text into the our image. Okay, so this one, for example, we will remove the name and name it, for example, nature, something like this. Okay, now all we have to do, put the last one, last data, which is another text. I will put it below this image, and set the I will get this font, and like this, change the text to be caption. This will be the caption that we need. I want you to go and change the design. Don't do the same as I do. This way you will learn how to work with a constraint and learn more. So make sure you will go through it one by one and make your imaginations and make your design. Don't follow me. Okay, now what we need to get the ID for this three, so later on we can use this ID to give the data to each one of them. So the first one, we will name it and splasher, like we do, image. We have to accept that because we reference or we use this ID to connect the text inside the image, this text. So this way it will update the data inside the text, and your applications will not have any error. Okay. Now we will give the this one ID. We will call it unsplasher name text, something like this. And this one we will name it unsplasher text, unsplasher caption text. Very good. Okay. Now we have to remove this part because we don't need it anymore. What we will do, this is the point that we send the data or send one activity to another. How you do that, you can do it like say val intent. So we have to use intent for this action. So we say intent equal to intent with uppercase. Then every intent, it need a context, so we will pass the context that we use, and we need to give the class, Java class, which we created before, which name detail activity, then colon class Java. Now our intent is ready to send this activity to another, but if you remember at the last one, we pass or we get the data for unsplasher and we pass it into our parcelable data, right? And the parcelable var is this. So what we will do now, we will say intent, the intent that we have, the one we send data from here to another, from one activity to another. Then we will say input extra. So if you see input extra, we have string, a value of string. We have a value for integer, byte, chart, everything. And if you come down, you will be able to get a value of parcelable. So we can also send the parcelable data from one place to another, which is very useful. And we need to send or give a tag, so it will remember by this name, and you can catch it from other place. Okay, and the parcelable data that we need to give the value to is this unsplasher parcel. So we will say unsplasher parcel. Now what I will do, I'll copy this and put it inside here and put something like this. So I will be able to get this data whenever I will open it inside the other activity. Now let's start the activity. All you have to do is say start activity, and this activity need intent, so we will give an intent. And that's all you have to do to pass one from one activity to another. If you don't need to send any data, so you can don't use this part. But if you need to send some data, which is we need every time when we are working with anything, and the data we can get from another. So I will copy this unsplash parcelable, and I use the same thing inside our detail activity. So let's press option and return to import this R. Then here I will say val unsplash parcelable equal to, this time we are calling the intent that we have from the other one. You have to use this lowercase intent, so we say lowercase intent dot, and here we will get the intent that we have. So what we will do, we will say get, and if you see, we can get the boolean or boolean extra, and also we can get parcelable array extra or parcelable extra. So we can choose parcelable extra. Okay, and all you have to do, pass in the variable or the class that we use for this unsplasher. Its name unsplasher parcelable. Pass in that data. Okay, and we will pass the name that we use in the last one, which was the same of this, but under dash between here. Okay, very good. Now if you say unsplasher dot, and you can see we can get the image URL or category and caption as well. But one thing here is it's really dangerous to work with this kind of situation, is sometimes maybe it will crash and it will not get the right data. And if you see here, it's have the explanation mark here, which is not good to have this kind of situation whenever we try to send something. Okay, but in our case right now, we know that we get data and we send the data through our application, so we will not get any crash. Okay, so now we have 3 data to pass in. So let's pass in the first one. We will say unsplasher and name text dot text equal to unsplasher dot category. This is the first one, and again unsplasher caption text dot text equal to unsplasher dot this time category caption, And the last one, we have image URL. So for the image URL, we will use glide. There you go. Glide dot with. We have to set the context, which the context here is this. Then we have to load actually. We have to load something into here, and the load that we have is a unsplasher dot image URL or category image URL. And finally, we have to put it inside some view, and the view we have is unsplasher image. There you go. Now, if we will play, we should pass in data from the another activity to this activity. And if it does, that means we succeed, then we will finish up this tutorial and we will be continuing the next one. Here our application is building. Perfect. Our application is installing. It's coming up. We have all the data. Let's pass in this data. And voila! Here you go. We have an image. On the top of the image, we have a category that we pass in here. And we have the caption as well. Okay? And let's check out some other one. This guy right here. Wow, let's look pretty. Thank you for watching. We will be continuing the next one.